Hello, little explorers! Welcome back to the Katha Lantern. I am your host, Rutu. I am so happy you're here with us today. I have a very special lantern letter to read from a little explorer named Sarah. Sarah writes, Dear Rutu, my friend Noah and I were planning a magnificent surprise party for my mom's birthday. We had it all completely figured out. I was hiding a giant chocolate cake in the fridge, and Noah was in charge of the decorations. We all agreed on a very important rule. Whatever you do not tell mom. But suddenly, we heard the front door open. My mom walked right into the kitchen, saw us trying to look completely normal, and smiled. She said, Hey kids, what are you up to? I kept my mouth completely shut, but Noah was so anxious and thrilled at the same time that he just couldn't hold it in. He blurted out, We are definitely not planning a surprise party and not having a giant chocolate cake. Noah completely spilled the beans. Oh, Sarah, it is so hard to stay quiet when you have something you desperately want to say. Keeping a gleeful secret bubbling inside can be incredibly tough. And that actually brings us perfectly to our newest Panchatantra tale. We are going to meet a very old, slightly grumpy fellow named Mr. Tortoise and his polite, helpful friends, Mr. and Mrs. Geese. Just like Noah, Mr. Tortoise is given one very simple rule. He must keep his mouth entirely shut. So let's begin our story by traveling to a dry pond and see if he can follow the rules. Once upon a time, in a lush green forest, there was a beautiful pond. And living right at the edge of this pond was a very old, very wrinkly, and very chatty Mr. Tortoise. Now, Mr. Tortoise was actually a good fellow, but he loved to complain. The grumpy Mr. Tortoise always complained.
The water is too cold today. The lily pads are too chewy, and the sun is entirely too bright on my shell.
Despite his grumbly mumblings, he had two very good friends, Mr. and Mrs. Geese. They were elegant, polite, and very patient with him. They spent their days swimming together, sharing stories, and listening to Mr. Tortoise talk and talk and talk. But one year, a terrible summer drought hit the forest. The sun beat down relentlessly. Day by day, the beautiful pond began to dry up. The water turned to thick, sticky mud, and the lily pads were completely withering away. The worried Mrs. Geese said,
Oh dear, the water is almost gone. Mr. Geese, we simply cannot stay here anymore. We must fly away to the great blue lake on the other side of the mountains.
The kind Mr. Geese replied,
You are right, my dear. We must leave tomorrow morning.
Mr. Tortoise overheard this conversation and panicked. He waddled over to them as fast as his little wrinkled legs could carry him. Mr. Tortoise said,
Wait, you can't leave me. You have big, strong wings, but my legs are short and stubby. If you leave me here in the mud, I'll dry up like an old raisin.
The geese looked at each other sadly. They loved their old friend and couldn't bear to leave him behind. They thought and thought, until finally Mrs. Geese had a wonderful idea. The kind Mrs. Geese said,
Mr. Tortoise, we can carry you with us. We will find a strong, thick stick. Mr. Geese and I will hold the ends of the stick in our beaks, and you will bite down right in the middle.
Understanding the idea, Mr. Geese continued,
Yes, but Mr. Tortoise, There is one very, very important rule. If we are going to fly you all the way to the Great Blue Lake, you must keep your mouth completely shut. You cannot say a single word, or you will let go of the stick and fall.
Mr. Tortoise scoffed and said,
Keep my mouth shut. Easy. I am the quietest, most focused tortoise in the forest. You just watch.
The next morning, Mr. Geese found the perfect sturdy branch. He took one end in his beak. Mrs. Geese took the other end. And Mr. Tortoise clamped his strong jaws right in the middle. With a mighty flap of their wings, the geese lifted off the ground. Up, up, up they went. Higher than the trees, higher than the clouds. Mr. Tortoise's little green legs dangled in the breezy air. He was flying. It was the most magnificent thing he had ever experienced. After a while, the three friends flew directly over a busy human village. Down in the marketplace, people looked up in the sky, pointing and gasping in amazement. Even high up in the air, Mr. Tortoise could hear some of the villagers talking loudly. He heard one villager yelling from a distance.
Look up there. Look at those birds. They are carrying a tortoise on a stick.
Mr. Tortoise puffed his chest out slightly, feeling very proud of himself. But then he heard the voice of another villager echoing up from the crowd below.
What incredibly clever birds. Those geese must be the smartest animals in the whole world to come up with such an amazing idea.
Up in the sky, Mr. Tortoise heard every single word, and he did not like it. Mr. Tortoise started thinking to himself.
Smart birds, clever geese. What about me? I'm the one bravely dangling hundreds of feet in the air. It takes incredible courage to be a flying tortoise. They should be cheering for me.
Mr. Tortoise's pride bubbled up like a hot volcano. He was so offended and so eager to correct the villagers that he completely forgot the one and only, single most important rule. He took a deep breath, puffed out his chest, and opened his mouth to shout,
I am the brave one, you fool.
Luckily for Mr. Tortoise, he did not hit the hard ground. He landed right smack in the middle of a very soft, very squishy, and very smelly haystack on the edge of a farmer's field. He was perfectly safe, but his beautiful shell was covered in messy hay and his pride was completely bruised. As he watched his friends fly away to the great blue lake without him, he realized he had made a terrible mistake. Oh my little explorers! Mr. Tortoise couldn't even make it the whole trip without trying to brag. He had such wonderful friends in Mr. and Mrs. Geese who gave him the perfect plan to fly safely. But he let his words get the absolutely best of him. He just had to let those villagers know how courageous he was. It goes right back to the lantern letter we read earlier about the magnificent surprise party. Just like our grumpy old tortoise, Noah learned a very tough lesson that day. Sometimes keeping your words inside is the hardest thing in the whole world. But there is an important rule to follow. It is always best to use our calm brains and just listen. God has given us 2 ears and 1 mouth. That means we should be doing double the listening than talking. Well, my little explorers, it is time for Katha Canvas. Grab your magical canvas and your brightest colors. For our gallery this time, you have 3 super fun choices to draw or paint from our adventure. You could draw Mr. Tortoise hanging onto the stick while the geese fly him high in the sky. Or you could draw a simple drawing of grumpy old Mr. Tortoise. Also, if you like, you could draw a beautiful pair of geese swimming in the pond. Parents, please snap a picture of your child's masterpiece and don't forget to include their name. Send it to us via DM on Instagram at the Katha Lantern. We would be absolutely thrilled to add it to our glowing Katha Canvas highlights gallery. Thank you so much for joining us on this magnificent tale. Also, please hit the follow and subscribe button on Apple Podcast, Spotify or YouTube to never miss an adventure. Until next time, I'm your host, Rutu. Stay curious as you grow and let your imaginations glow.